Hello, and welcome to Sav Reads Tarot. I'm Sav, and I'm here to read some tarot. And this is my first reading on this page. I did pull cards, and I actually recorded that whole part, but there was a lot of background noise happening that I kept getting distracted by, and so it was like 7 minutes of me just being like what was that sound? So I stopped recording and started over, and so I do have some cards pulled already, but we are gonna keep pulling them. But this is what we have started out with. So majorly, we have this. Okay, hold on, let me see how I had this sorted out. Okay, so Two of Swords. Okay, that's you, okay? There are paths to take and decisions to make. You have choices to choose from. Okay, so that's like that's our foundation here, right? And so the two directions that there are to take, we have the Page of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Five of Wands, which is not great. It is literally like using all of your vitality and thoughtful energy to like look for problems and pick fights and stir the pot and waste your own time, essentially, creating trouble where there is none. Why? I don't know. I don't know what your childhood was like. I don't know what your attachment style is. But that's the one way that you can very clearly see. And you haven't gone there yet, but like the urge is there, right? The instinct is there. But then the other way is Ace of Pentacles and Four of Wands. So one way is very like stuck in your head. And when we get stuck in our heads, we get disconnected from our bodies, and we just become these little fearful, manipulative, childish gremlins just floating through liminal space and wreaking havoc because we are so trapped up here. And I feel like, because you know what, we did just have the nodes shift, and I'm not even really going to talk about the signs and the energies associated with them at the moment because it's not really relevant here. What is relevant about the nodes shifting is that there are two opposite energies, okay? And so when we're dealing with the nodes, we're thinking of being pulled in two different directions and having to choose which way to go, and choosing to evolve versus staying comfortable. Sorry, that took a moment. That took a moment to get out. And so it feels like this energy is where you're comfortable, even though it's not nice, it's not pleasant, it's not pleasurable, it doesn't yield good results, but it is what is comfortable because it's what you're used to. Whereas this is still. This is steady and stable. And this is like coming home, but you're the one who decided what home means to you, right? So it's not, it's the home that you created. And so it kind of feels like maybe somebody is healing and growing and learning and changing, and you've done a lot already. Like you have done so much work, inner healing, spiritual healing already, and you have evolved a lot from that. And I think the frustrating part about healing and doing that work is that the ways that we are shaped, that kind of dictate like our reactions and the way that we interpret things and respond and the way that we move about, you know, when that is shaped in a certain way growing up, that's not like unlearning a bad habit. That's asking your entire physiology to change. And when you do the healing work, you are working with your physiology to change for the better, to be more grounded, to feel safer and secure and be more stable. But these things are always gonna like crop up. These things are always gonna pop up, and it might not be as bad, it might not be as frequent, but they will. They just will. It's your default setting, and that's not your fault. And you surely can, you know, adjust your default setting to be, you know, healthier and happier and safer over time. But you're only human, and you can only help what you can help moment to moment, and sometimes things pop up. So it seems like if you don't already have this like new life and home and identity established, that you have at the very least kind of like you know what you want. Like you know what you want, and you might even have the like steps to take laid out and like a foundation set. And so it's like as you're stepping into like, oh, I did all this work on myself and I was able to figure out what I want, and now it's time to, you know, live the life that I know I'm meant to live, right? This like happy, secure, stable, celebratory, loving, cohesive, collaborative, home and family life, right? Right as you're like, yeah, let's do this. Old patterns try to make a comeback, and they try to come back to life, and so the hard part about that is just that sometimes our systems get hijacked, right? And so that's why you're you know, being asked to really like, and I honestly, I like that that she's blindfolded, because it's like really turning inward. It is completely ignoring everything outside of you to like lock in and get lined up with your, you know, what your attunement is and what you want and what feels good and right to you. And so it's like, let's just like, you know, kind of shut down our senses and not take in everything that's swirling around in the external, because like, I'm not, you're not a victim to your own patterns anymore. Like, you can look inward, you can turn inward, and you can choose to be like, you know what, this is not like working for me anymore, and I actually have the ability to see that and notice it and like choose something else. There's like, seriously, these two go hand in hand. These two go hand in hand. You put on the blindfold, like block out the external stimuli, so that, you know, what is kind of like lurking and lingering beneath the surface, that's kind of like digging at you and destabilizing you a little bit. Like, you know, when you can just like shut it down and just really like hone in everything that is, you know, able to hide underneath the surface, can't hide anymore, because there's no noise, there's nothing loud or bright enough to, you know, disguise it anymore. And then we have the Hanged Man. There is so much like call for stillness right now. It's like, I feel like there's like there's like a buzzing of like, oh my god, like why is this coming up? Why is this, like, why do I feel this way? Like, I thought I worked this out, like nothing's working, like my coping mechanism, like it's just like buzzing, it's loud. And so there's really this like this urge for like quiet, still, allowing things to come up and to come to you through being quiet and still. It's loud. It's loud in there. Whew. Damn. I feel you though. I'm there. I feel like this like once every 3 weeks. And 3 of Wands. So I think that you're being asked to be quiet and sit still and become aware of like what stories are being told in your head right now. Like what voices are saying what? Like what is the narrative that is playing out within you that is kind of like manifesting in this like self-sabotage way? Notice that, become aware of it, and don't reject it, don't ignore it, don't pretend it's something that it's not, and don't like lean into it too hard either. Just sit and be still and be with it, and understand that that these moments are really valuable and have a lot of wisdom and a lot of information for us to gain about a lot of stuff. So I know that it hurts, that it is painful and uncomfortable to think of everything that can go wrong and how, and everybody's individual perspectives on it, and how you don't, want to be in a bad spot. It's hard sitting with yourself. It's really hard, but it's through, sitting with yourself and understanding like, oh, this is like old wounded versions of me who are really like trying to take the driver's seat and take over the wheel, and you need to, just hear what that's trying to tell you. Like, what is that trying to tell you? Because these like maladaptive, unhealthy, immature ways of being were protection at one point. Those habits and patterns and behaviors, and they protected you when you were little, and they want to protect you still, but they're not protective anymore. They're a hindrance now. So if you haven't already kind of seen the materialization of this come together, you at the very least have a very detailed and clear understanding of what you want, and like knowing what it takes to get there. So if you can just like hold that in your mind as much as possible to and just enough to know that like the strife of the moment is not all that there is, because there is also this. So you just gotta get through that murky, muddy water of everything that's going on in here, accept it with love and care and kindness, asking what it's trying to teach you, and in doing that, in tolerating the pain and anxiety and distress that comes with sitting with ourselves, you then will know exactly how to move forward. And you will move forward. Like, notice how his back is turned, because it's very like, okay, now that's like, now we can move forward. And so it's, if you can get yourself to just kind of hang tight and just, you know, accept the experience for what it is, that is what will allow you to just move forward into the, you know, into the life, the role, the identity, the version, whatever. You're by sitting with yourself, you are allowing yourself to step into fully into what you want, with no looking back. So I think you'll make the right choice. I think you'll make good choices. I hope you do. And if this resonated, I would love to see in the comments. Other than that, that's what I have for right now.